Peter Dinklage, 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 Peter.
All right, welcome back to the American Movie Podcast. This is your host, Matthew Benjamin. Oh my gosh, strap in. This episode was phenomenal. It was Beyond the Wall, episode 6. We got one left. And if you have not seen it, please run away. I'm going to go over spoilers and everything else. So this was a fantastic episode. The battle was just extraordinary. As you can see, there was a lot of calls to the Battle of the Bastards, it looked like. And then the 12 dudes battling this entire army of the undead. It was just amazing. So a lot happened in this episode. We got to see the capture of an undead White Walker. And then we get to see some animosity in between Arya and Sansa. And then we get to see a lot of camaraderie with the Hound and Thoros and Jon Snow and everybody. And it was just, this was possibly the best episode I've ever seen. And right next to the Red Wedding, I thought that was a good one too, just because it was just so unforeseeable. So yeah, this was amazing. What totally happened, or what sold the deal for me, was when they brought they brought the dragon back. It's Viserion. I believe its pronunciation went like that. It's the V dragon. And it was just the craziest thing ever. Like, there was a couple theories around or going around like that. And if you do get to kill a dragon like that, man, it's a beneficial, definitely. So we're going to be able to see two dragons versus an undead dragon, which is just didn't expect anything less from Game of Thrones. So it was just amazing, man. And then there's talk about if his fire is going to be differentiated. So visually, so like his fire might be blue now, which would be super, super cool. And I thought the camaraderie scenes were just really, really cool. Like, they were the best, I thought. Getting to see the big burly red-haired guy. Yeah, I thought seeing him interact with the Hound was just enjoyable. It was just really, really cool to see. So much went down. I did not foresee Arya being so just like so crazy towards Sansa. Like, I did not believe that. I didn't think that she would just try and intimidate Sansa in that manner, but Littlefinger planted that Raven's message, so you got to see that, and it was just like, oh, dude, this is not good for Sansa. Sansa's getting intimidated in her own house, so it was like, here we go. So one thing I would like to see is if Arya understands that Sansa is very, very manipulated by Littlefinger, seeing Arya attack Littlefinger and then acquire his face and then manipulate Sansa in that manner, I think that would be an extraordinary move on Game of Thrones' part. Like, I think that would be so cool to see. And there's a couple other things in this episode that I wanted to break down, and I'm not confused by, but I'm anticipating. And it would be Bran he's going to be able to warg animals, right? So he might be able to control the White Walker's dragon in a way, or maybe disrupt its flight patterns and stuff like that in like the main battle. I'm wondering if he is powerful enough to be able to even handle that, because it's a humongous dragon. It's totally different than like a raven. So I just I'm looking forward to that and seeing if Bran will play a key integral role in the disruption of probably the biggest aerial fight that we've seen in Game of Thrones. So, but yeah, this was a fantastic episode where the lake froze over just in the nick of time, or actually it broke just in the nick of time and then froze back over. And then the Hound's silly move of just tossing rocks in frustration at these walkers. So it did show a little bit of a thought going into the White Walkers. Like, they might be able to have some sort of sentience. They might be able to like pattern recognize, or they might be just the central hub of the Night King might be able to just order everybody around. Like, he might be controlling all of them, at least in orders and stuff like that, or if they're like their own beings. It's hard to say. But one crucial thing, and one thing that I think is worth this entire mission, was seeing that you can kill whoever had turned the previous White Walker. So there's like this this chain of command, and if you were to kill them, the other ones just dissolve into dust, and they just break apart and shatter and wither away. So I thought that was probably the most useful thing that came out of all of this. Like, they're going to take that dead White Walker to Cersei, but I think that was a fool's errand anyways. I don't think Cersei's going to be able to, she's not going to acquiesce her power. She's not going to like join forces. I think she's in it for the long run of just controlling the Seven Kingdoms, and she does not care. My enemy of my enemy is my friend. I don't think she's going to help at all. And I foresee that. And it's actually really cool. I'm throwing up the behind the scenes stuff on like the bear, and all of it's CGI, and it's actually really, really fascinating to watch. But yeah, I don't see Cersei doing that. I just don't see Cersei breaking her kingdom. Like, I just don't see her acquiescing that way. I just don't. That's not her. It's not her personality. It's not how she would do it. And I'm also, there's another exchange that I thought was maybe illuminating. It would be Tyrion and Daenerys were talking about secession and kingdom secession. And right before that, they primed it up with, hey, who's heroic? Who's brave? Who's all this? And Tyrion was kind of talking about how he was not heroic or brave or anything like that. And he was kind of seeing what Dany felt towards that sentiment. And I don't know, man. I would never think Tyrion would ever be deceitful in a way that would beat Daenerys, but I think he actually does care about the initiative rather, that Daenerys is holding out. So he might be able to he might be just thinking long term rather than trying to manipulate and get some sort of power or secession of power if he were to become the leader of the Seven Kingdoms, if she were to perish or if there was some sort of complication. Yeah, so that was fascinating. I'm not sure. It's hard to make out of that. It's hard to make something out of that exchange besides he might be trying to help long term, but it's just difficult to say. And oh yeah, spoiler alert, Jon Snow bent the knee. So he's definitely letting Dany be his queen, which is very, very, it's foreshadowing definitely, because I feel like there's going to be a relationship in between those two. With no question, I think it's indisputable that they're going to be an item. They're going to be an item, and they're going to hook up, and she might even bear children. She says that she can't, but I don't know if I believe her. Game of Thrones has said a lot of things, and it's been contradictory. So I think she might be might have a child within the next few seasons. I'm not sure. And we do know Cersei is with child right now, and we don't know what's going to happen with that. She's going to let everybody know that there was incestual relations. Like, geez, it's a crazy world, man. And I'm looking forward to this was by far my favorite episode of this season and possibly the entire seasons of Game of Thrones. It was amazing. I just thought everything was executed well. It looked so cool. And when Daenerys came to save the day of the Dirty Dozen, it was just extraordinary. She just laid waste to these undead dudes. So it was absolutely phenomenal. Let me know what you think's going to happen in the next following episodes. Please like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to let me know what you think's going to happen in the next following episodes. I'm looking forward to this following one. It's going to be a premiere. They only have 2 premieres left, so they're hopefully going to be amazing. They have to pull out all the stops. I'm really looking forward to the very last one. This was a pleasant surprise. I thought this was going to be a filler episode, and it was not. It was awesome. So thank you so much for watching. This has been Matthew Benjamin with the American Movie Podcast. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, 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 bye.
Dinklage, Peter 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 Dinklage, Peter